Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Hello all and welcome to our Zacks Top Stock Picks of the Week. My name is Brian Hayes. I'm a strategist here with Zacks. My top stock pick this week has been benefiting from a resurgence in semiconductor stocks. The company I'm referring to is Allegro Microsystems, ticker symbol ALGM. Allegro Microsystems is a global semiconductor leader in sensor and power integrated circuits, or ICs for short, along with photonics. The company produces application-specific ICs for motion control and energy efficient systems. Allegro Microsystems sells primarily in the automotive and industrial markets. They operate in the Americas, Europe, Japan, China, South Korea, along with other Asian markets. So that's a bit about the company's background and services. Let's shift gears a bit and take a look at ALGM's industry group. Taking somewhat of a top-down approach here, ALGM is part of the Zacks electronics semiconductors industry, which is currently ranked in the top 39% out of approximately 250 industries. Because it is ranked in the top half of all Zacks ranked industries, we expect this group to outperform over the next 3 to 6 months. And take a look at how this group has steadily outperformed this year. The industry is up nearly 24% year to date versus a gain of less than 3% for the S&P. Quantitative research studies suggest about half of a stock's future price appreciation is due to its industry grouping. In fact, the top 50% of Zacks ranked industries outperforms the bottom 50% by a factor of more than 2 to 1. By targeting stocks contained within leading industry groups, we can dramatically improve our odds of success. And take a look at all of these highly ranked stocks within this group. This serves as another confirmation signal that this industry is a great place to be, as the stocks in this group are experiencing positive earnings estimate revisions, which our research shows to be the most powerful force impacting stock prices. Moving to our snapshot page here, we can see that Allegro Microsystems is a Zacks ranked #1 strong buy. Back in January, the company reported fiscal third quarter earnings of 35 cents a share, a 9.38% surprise over the 32-cent estimate. ALGM has delivered a 9.43% average earnings surprise over the last 4 quarters. So they've been consistently beating earnings estimates, and the stock price is reflecting this. And look at how ALGM stock has outperformed since bottoming out in July of last year, well before the major indexes. Shares have more than doubled since then and are hitting a series of 52-week highs. Only stocks in very powerful uptrends are able to make this type of move, while the major indices remain volatile. Analysts covering the company are in agreement in terms of earnings revisions and have been raising estimates across the board. The fiscal fourth quarter EPS estimate has been increased by 28.57% in the past 60 days. The Q4 Zacks consensus EPS estimate now stands at 36 cents a share, reflecting potential growth of 71.43% relative to the same quarter last year. Revenues are projected to climb 32.3% to $265 million. It's exactly the type of trend we want to look for when narrowing down our list of potential stocks. So it's obvious the growth is there and looks set to continue. So Allegro Microsystems, ticker symbol ALGM, is my top stock pick of the week. Make sure you subscribe to get all of our top stock picks. We bring them to you here each and every week on Zacks.com. Next up, we'll hear from Tracy on her top stock pick.
Is it hard to find Zacks #1 ranked strong buys right now? Well, kind of, because a lot of earnings estimates are being cut, but I brought you one today that they're on the increase, so to speak, but the earnings estimates are expected to be a little bit lower than what the earnings were last year. And my stock for the top stock picks is Archer Daniels Midland, ADM, better known as the supermarket to the world. Yes, those ads from the 1970s and 80s really did have an impact on me because what do? They are in the food industry. And this has been a hot area during the pandemic, and especially after the Ukraine war. But now the shares have sold off. It's cheaper than ever, and it's got the Zacks #1 rank strong buy. Let's take a look at those earnings estimates to see why does it have the #1 rank and what is going on with the earnings estimates for this year. Okay, we're on the detailed earnings estimates page on Zacks.com for ADM, and you can see there in 2023, they're looking for 674. And last year they made 785. So that's a decline of 14% for this year. So what's so great about that? Well, the analysts did get a little too pessimistic. You can see that 8 estimates are up in the last 60 days. There is one down in the last 30, but those estimates have really come off of the last 60 days when they all had a raise. So you can see analysts were expecting 638. Now they're at 674. Are they still being too pessimistic? We won't know until the next earnings report that's coming up, shortly in a couple of weeks. But the analysts being, as I said, just a little too pessimistic on what's supposed to happen for this year. So those estimates are on the increase. But do I expect them to get back to what we saw last year, which was a much more dynamic year for the food industry? I'm not sure, but we definitely don't have the spike in the costs. So some of that has come down. And so it's going to be an interesting mix with a company like ADM this year. Now, I mentioned that it was trading fairly cheaply, and that's because, as you can see on the chart here, the shares are down pretty big here in 2023, down 17%. So it's trading with a forward PE now of 11. It's not quite back to those 2022 lows yet, but it looks like it kind of wants to get there, and then we may see a bounce. But I do like them here at this price. It does pay a dividend. It's one of those stocks that's always kind of the steady Eddie. Dividend is yielding 2.4%, so that's not too shabby. If it does go back down to the 2022, I would consider that to be a strong buying opportunity, but it's close and it's pretty cheap, as I've said. I do own it in the Zacks Value Investor portfolio. We did buy it in 2020, right when the pandemic hit, because everybody's going to need food, right? And that's what they do. So I still believe in that. And the analysts are getting a little more bullish here in 2023. And so I feel like these shares are a value, even with the estimates coming down off of that record 2022 highs. So Archer Daniels Midland, keep the food stocks on your list, especially these that are Zacks #1 ranked strong buys. Every week, we're bringing you the top stock picks here on Zacks.com. Be sure to tune in to get all of our top stock picks. They're needed now more than ever. Use that Zacks rank to find the companies that have rising earnings estimates. That's always what you need to be looking for. And as always, you can find all of our videos on Zacks.com/YouTube and check out all of our services. You can see what's being promoted this week at Zacks.com/promo. Go get those Zacks #1 ranked stocks at Zacks.com/promo. And we'll see you again next week with some more top stocks.